I just saw the Dune movie in the theaters, yes, a couple of days ago, so I had the time to get it through my computer. By now, I would guess you've seen other people talk about the movie, and maybe even people coming straight out of the movie theater talking about the Dune movie. And in retrospect, I'm so happy and so, I don't know. It's like, phew. I'm glad it's not me doing these videos, making a statement right outside the theater, because I would have been rambling like a son of a bitch, because this movie hit me like a fistful of Slipknot concerts, if you can say that. It was like, damn. So let's talk about it for a few minutes. And I try I had some time now, as I said. It's computed. I had the time to think about what the hell was that. We did go in, or should I say, I did go in expecting some kind of art house sci-fi, because I guess it's in the original material that this is above your granddaddy's 50 sci-fi Leslie Nielsen, and some kind of car tire robot, you know. This is not Battlestar Galactica sci-fi. This is sci-fi done. I'm thinking coffee table sci-fi, if that's even a term. You know what I mean? It's so aesthetic. It's so. The concept is clean. It's not like they're trying to overdo it like they did in the 50s and 60s, and with you know lots of colors. Even Star Wars does that to this day. Lots of colors. You got the Guardians of the Galaxy sci-fi. That's a lot of colors. And then you got movies like Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, and now this is what I mean with coffee table sci-fi. It's like they're stripping down. They're not pleasing you with a lot of pop color and a lot of quick tempo writing. Your typical, like nurturing what you're used to. you know they they're taking it like these movies in my head are taking a bold move, because uh, when you sit, and especially in the theater, where everybody knows you paid some money to be there, and you have expectations, and investors in the movie business knows what would make you happy and come back again. And that's the important part. It's not so important that, because you can't get your money back while like after you got in the theater. It's too late. So now it's concerns about you coming back for more eventually along the way. So stepping out of that more secure zone, where they know you would be pleased almost no matter what, because sticking to a certain time frame. There is a code. I remember back in the day I heard something about if you have a cut under 7 seconds, after 7 seconds, your mind will start to process what you're thinking under 7-second cuts in typical action scenes, and also any kind of scene. If you keep it under 7 seconds, your cuts, your audience will never sit and think about in deeper detail about what they're seeing. And to go out of that construction of a movie, not giving a fuck about how long the clip is or how long it takes from the narrative to come from A to B and so on. And it's a bold move to take risks, just like Quentin Tarantino did with the crime genre, and there's a lot of luckily enough, there's a lot of examples where people have been taking risks in movies. This is a movie that is, as I'm trying to explain, very bold, very not your usual, experience. I would put it like we could also compare it with, as I said, I think a Blade Runner, science fiction. It's even space. That's a better example. The Kubrick Space 2001. That it's very organic in that way, It's like the whole thing is it's not only a movie. It's so aesthetic that I was thinking this is a piece of art, and I know maybe that's a cliche or something, or it doesn't make any sense because someone could think, yeah, you can say that about every movie because movies are a part of the art, world, and music is, and every little drawing is art. But there's art, and then there's art. You know what I'm saying? So I think you get it. This is not a typical sci-fi movie. This doesn't speak down to you. It doesn't hold your hand. It's a very in that way, like explaining everything to you in detail, so you're not confused. This movie is it's taking another route because it's not trying to over explain anything. It's not using your typical timeline tempo, it's even using another cinematic language, lesser words, more sound, so it's very organic in that way. It's and it's also harder to describe and or review, because it's done in another language. It's like me trying to sit and review some Russian handbook over, interstellar rocket flying, whatever, It's another language. It's a whole other world. It's like a sci-fi movie experience you can compare with Stanley Kubrick's 2001. It's like you're getting lost in this. The music is working tricks on your mind, and you really get sucked in. If you're allowing yourself to get sucked into a movie, this movie will do it. It's like it's hitting on every level. I would dare to say so. At some point in the theater, I was thinking, this is just as rough in the sound. This is just as hard-hitting in the sound as a freaking Slipknot concert. And I've been to a Slipknot concert, even up close. I don't know what to say, because the music is freaking insane. The guy who made the music is called Hans Zimmer. He is from Germany, and he's done a lot. He did the, for example, in the genre Interstellar, and that was, in my opinion, the best part of Interstellar. That's the score. Oh my freaking god! I love the gothic combined with the sci-fi. This is fantastic. The cinematographer is the guy who shot the Rogue One. Yeah. The director, Dennis, is the guy who made, I don't know. Oh, this was a sequel. I was about to say it was a reboot or remake. It wasn't. But this is the director. This is the cinematographer. And this is the composer. So you see what I'm saying? You're in good hands. This is quality 101. And even Jason Momoa is shining in a way you never thought possible. I would almost dare to say, it's like, oh shit, I kind of like this dude. And the leading character playing the what the internet, the cancel people culture is calling, like, hey, I don't get it. It's not proper. It's not cool with the the white messiah figure. Fuck that shit. You can take your cancel pipe culture bang hole and cram it up your shot locker, man. I know that's rubbish, but I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to sound as vulgar. I'm just trying to, not to be graphic about it. So, yeah. But I think you get the idea. Fuck cancel culture. And, yeah, Timothy. Timmy. Timothy. I can't remember his last name. He's playing the lead character. He's doing a great job. I bought that. It doesn't say very much. Almost. It's not like Rambo, First Blood. There's more dialogue in this one. In Sylvester Stallone's dialogue in First Blood, but it's as I said in the beginning, it's not about it's about the dialogue when it is when you have it, but this is I would say this is done in a way where you are supposed to enjoy it on another set of levels, on another plane than your typical, old school sci-fi movie. Unless your old school sci-fi movie is Blade Runner and Space, 2001. Yeah. Maybe even there's even some and stuff from Interstellar, bits and pieces. So that's the kind of sci-fi this is. Almost, and you remember Brazil? That wasn't that was kind of like sci-fi because it was like done in some kind of dystopian future. Big Brother's watching you, kind of Terry Gilliam future, but I love it when movies are like that. You know, like when they go out of that comfort zone and dare to go out of that comfort zone, knowing this is a big risk because a huge portion of the audience is you know, like scratching their heads, thinking that's not like Star Wars, or that's not like, you know, Star Trek, or I don't know, yes, Transformers. What the fuck they're expecting going into a movie. This is some gnarly shit. It's even. I saw this with my daughter, and some of it she thought, she's a grown woman by the way, but some of it she thought was very very creepy. There's a Stellan Skarsgård character in it. He is creepy. So it also has that, you know, horror element, and the colors throughout the whole movie is, you know, like kind of like the same, all done in earth colors, you know, desert colors, due to the dune, I guess, but it fits. It's breathtaking. It's the best sound I ever heard in a movie, period. It's like when they say this will blow your socks off, it's gonna blow your socks off. The whole room was shaking, and not in your typical, I just saw Godzilla in DHX and the whole room was shaking. No, the whole fucking room was vibrating, and in the best controlled way. It wasn't overdone, but it was just right. It was, as I said, the best freaking sound and music combined. The whole, as I said, the whole experience is best described as an art installation, an art piece. You're walking around a science fiction movie, admiring it in a museum, but you're sitting down, and the art piece is on celluloid, you know, or digital. I don't know what they're using, from theater to theater. There's not a finger to point at it. Not a one. Is, if anybody is pointing a finger at Dune in a negative way, it would only tell you that they're not into that kind of art pieces, sci-fi movies / whatever you want to call this. In the last end, it's only a movie. You know, it doesn't. I know I'm talking about it like it was the Taj Mahal 2.0, but in my head it is. I'm a big sci-fi buff, and I love it when I get surprised by how good the movie is, because sci-fi has a big history, sci-fi movies, of corny and badly done shit, and badly written and badly acted and badly directed, and just like so bad it's good also. So you never can be too sure about how good it's gonna be. It's not a shoe in. It's like, of course they're gonna nail this, like you would say in the MCU right now. It's like, because they have cemented, they know what they're doing. By the way, maybe did I mention that the director Denis Villeneuve? I'm not sure how you say his word. He's a French Canadian, so is it Villeneuve or is it? You tell me. Denis, he did direct this one also, and the different or the difference between this one, his latest, before the Dune movie, and Dune, is that in this one he had to pay some homages to Ridley Scott, and like keep it in the ring, or he couldn't just make it just like, I don't give a crap about how Ridley made the first one, because the fact that the way Ridley Scott made the first one is part of why it is such a big cult classic. So he had to stick with the the formal, the look, but it worked. I think this one is great, and but in Dune he didn't have to stick to David Lynch's vision, because apropos flop, that was a flop. I'm a big David Lynch fan, but there is a reason David Lynch quickly got back to the highway. That's history. So in this one, we finally can see what Denis is capable of. Besides the Arrival from 2016, that's also very original, but a smaller movie than Dune. Dune is epic in every scale. You even get pipes in it. It's like there's no end of the aesthetic in this movie. You're gonna get it all. So in short, and then some. If I should rate this movie from a scale 0 to 10, it's hard not to give this a 10 out of a 10, because it truly deserves it. This is not only as good as a sci-fi can get, and I was almost about to say the thinking man's sci-fi, or the more smarter person's sci-fi. Not that I'm smarter than anybody else, but as I told you earlier, it doesn't hold your hand. It does expect you to at least appreciate a well crafted piece of art, in this case sci-fi. And so as the rating, it does ring the bell, like bing, and it even sets a new scale. It's not a new scale, but it's not a scale you see in every decade. So I guess it's kind of like, at least it's also remembering us that, or reminding us that, remember the Kubrick kind of sci-fi, the space, 2001? We're gonna do shit like that again. We're gonna curl your asshole. We're gonna make you turn your shits white. Oh, that's too much, but to close it down, I would say definitely a 10 out of a 10. Abso-freaking-lutely. almost 11 out of a 10 because, yeah, I know we can't do that. We can if we will, but it's just freaking. I would go as far to say then that how can you rate this one without giving it 10 out of 10? It's in a league of its own. It's like in the league where you have a hard time mentioning 5 titles. As I tried earlier, I could mention Kubrick Space and 2001 and original Blade Runner, and then I'm kind of hitting Interstellar in parts, you know. And then it gets harder, real, because I'm excuse me, I'm holding stuff like Star Wars. I'm taking stuff like Star Wars out of this comparison, or what do you call it? Because this is another animal. This is a more. It's not like done in adventure style. This is not your. I wouldn't take my whole family in to see it if there were younger persons in the family. This is. Even though this, I don't even know what the rating is, but I wouldn't guess that the youngest one is would get this. Apropos that, you know, what watching what you're used to, not being pleased in that juvenile level. And when I'm saying juvenile, I'm not saying only for kids, because, you know, there's a lot of juvenile elements in, for example, Star Wars and even Marvel MCU. They're keeping it clean. It's like family entertaining / nerd entertainment, you know. And yeah, but this one is not. No, this one is nerdy as freak and artsy as freak, and not in the posh way, in the cool shit, in the, you know, desert wind blowing. We even got some in hardware, you know. Yeah, some hardware, you know. You know that movie? That's a great freaking not Star Wars, science fiction movie. That just came to me because all the, you know, the desert and the color scheme. So yeah, I recommend hardware. If you like Dune, you will probably, though it's a whole different story, but it has some of the same art house, but done cheaper in hardware. Some of it is like, it could be a you know, a cinematic universe, a common cinematic universe. So that's it. That was my little speech talk about Dune, the 2021 movie. It was freaking awesome. And I didn't even talk about the narrative, the whole, what's it about? You know what it is about. You don't have, I don't have to sit here and tell you and spoil the whole story. No, just watch it. If you are ready for this kind of movie, just hurry on and even better, watch this movie in a theater. If that's, I don't say that very often because I don't feel so strongly about it very often. So get your Groot on. Yeah. Let that be the words, and thank you once again for listening and watching. Hope you're having a great day, and it is Sci-Fi Sunday, so keep on trucking, or keep on rocking, mother trucker. I don't know, any which way you like it. Thank you. Yeah. See you soon. Next one will be Shang-Chi. Yeah, Legend of the Ten Rings. Oh.